Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It is officially October, so it's officially time to read some spooky books. Now, I am a bit of a wimp, so when I say spooky books, I mean like girly spooky books. I've got a few on my radar for this video. I've already started reading one, which is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I'll talk about how that's going in a minute. But I think I also want to read After Love by Tanya Byrne. Is that how you pronounce her surname? I never know how to say it. It's spelt with a Y. Anyway, and then I'm thinking a classic, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I've got an audiobook hold of it. And I'm pretty sure that's got a ghost in it, hasn't it? Isn't that like the point? I don't know. I think all those books have got ghosts in. So I'm thinking we could do like a girly ghosty time. Without reading like horror. Just like cute, fun. But I don't think Rebecca's cute and fun. I think that one is quite dark. It's a gothic novel. But I feel like the other two will be quite fun. Anyway, that's the vibe. That's the plan for this video. As I said, I've already started reading The Dead Romantics. I think I'm about halfway through. Let me have a look. I'm listening to it on audio because I don't have a physical copy. Oh, I'm already 60% through. It's not a very long book, and because I'm listening to it, it's going really quick. And I am enjoying it, but I think it's been like mismarketed online as a romance because there is a romance in it, but it isn't. So basically we've got our main character. I don't know what her name is. I never know what anyone's name is in a book. So whatever, we've got our female main character and she's from this like quite small town, but she was ostracized from this small town when she was quite young because she can see ghosts. And she like thought it was okay to like tell people that basically. And so she moved away, she moved to New York, and she's now had to come back home. I won't say why, it gets revealed quite early in the book, but I won't say why, but she's back home and she can still see ghosts. And it's basically her just navigating life, that there is a romance in it with a ghost. But I don't think the romance is particularly well developed. I think it's more of a side plot really to the main point of the book. Like, I can't really say what she's dealing with because I don't want to give too much away. But yeah, I'm not blown away by the romance and like the chemistry between them. I don't know if it's the fact that he's a ghost that's like throwing me a bit, but it's definitely fun. Like, it's definitely a cute little book for this season. So yeah, I'm hoping to finish that like in the next couple of days, and then we'll move on to one of the other two. So I'll probably just pop back in now when I've finished The Dead Romantics and let you know what my final thoughts are. Hello everyone, I have an update. I have finished The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston and I gave it a 3-star. I feel like it's not a romance book. I think I explained that before. And my thoughts are still pretty much the same, having finished the book as they were around like however far through I was when I last spoke to you. I just don't feel like it was a romance book. I don't feel like the romance was really developed. I did quite like kind of the twist at the end. That was quite nice. But overall, I just didn't find the romance that satisfying, and I didn't realise the book was so heavy on the main theme as it was. I don't want to spoil anything. But it's not my favourite theme in a book, which is stupid considering I literally went into this saying it's a book about ghosts. It very much is, I'll give it that. It's very... I was going to say it's like silly, but it's not. It's actually quite like a melancholy book, like it's quite sad. Definitely has its humorous elements to it, but it is quite sad. Let me just check actually what it says on the back of the book before I go any further. Yeah, I was right. The thing that happens that I don't want to tell you like would be a spoiler, so I'm not gonna say like the reason she goes home. But yeah, the book was just different than what I was expecting, but it is ghosty, so I'll give it that. But it's not spooky ghosty so much as it is like, it's actually quite sad ghosty, you know? Anyway, I enjoyed reading it, don't get me wrong, like I really enjoyed listening to it. It's just not more than a 3-star, like it's not a book that's gonna stick with me, but I did really enjoy reading it. It's not a bad book at all, just not my favourite. So yeah, I finished that and I've now moved on to Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I've actually accidentally nearly finished it. Quite the opposite, not ghosty, just more like gothic, very much about a dead person. It's about Rebecca, who is, you know, dead. If you don't know what the book is about, it's about this woman whose name I forgot. She's married a man. The man's ex-wife died, and his ex-wife is Rebecca. So the book is named after the wife that has passed away. And it's just kind of following the new wife, like navigating this marriage, navigating the fact that it's obviously quite difficult, marrying someone whose previous partner has passed. Yeah, kind of just about that. There been a couple of twists, a couple of turns, but not like, you know, this isn't a thriller, it's not supposed to be. This sounds stupid, but like it very much is a classic. It reads very much like a classic, but easily digestible. I will give it that. It is easily digestible. It's not, I've not found it a dense classic. But yeah, again, not a bad book. I've also not finished it, so I can't give my final thoughts. Obviously I will come back and give my final thoughts when I finished it. I'll probably finish it tomorrow. And then you might be able to see here, we've got After Love. This is the next book that I'm going to read. What I'll do is, I think because this is a physical copy and I'm listening to Rebecca, I'm probably just going to start this now for the rest of the evening. But the next clip, I'll talk to you about finishing Rebecca, and then I'll give you an update. Hope that's not confusing. Yeah, basically I'll talk to you about Rebecca and I'll give you an update on how I'm feeling about this when I'm a little bit further in. I won't get far into it tonight, I'm going to bed soon. But yeah, I'll talk to you about what this is about and everything. Let's get Rebecca done, and then I'll talk to you about what this one is about and stuff after, because I currently don't actually know what it's about. Bye. I have finished Rebecca, and I think I'm going to settle on a 3.75. I've been flitting between a 3.5 and a 4. Immediately after I finished, I was like 4-star. But then, like, I think I'm just getting carried away by the writing. Mostly nowadays, I don't read books for writing. I do have an English degree. So I think because I was forced to read so many books, like, as part of my degree, now I just tend to read for enjoyment. But every now and again, when I pick up a book that's just got really good writing, and particularly I'm a sucker for an atmospheric book. Sorry, I keep looking over there because there's a spider on the wall and it's kind of putting me off. Anyway, I am a bit of a sucker for an atmospheric book. Like, any beautiful, like, descriptive writing just really gets me and always makes me enjoy a book more. And yeah, loved the vibes of this one. It wasn't very ghosty. Definitely not like the girly ghosty time I thought we were going to have. Like, there is a ghost and it's talked about, like, how Rebecca haunts the place, but I don't think we actually, unless I'm just dumb and I didn't pick up on it, we don't see much like haunting. Like, it's not very obvious. It's just like, I think it's just more the feel of her and like the emotions that everyone feels towards Rebecca and her death, if that makes sense, rather than her going around like messing stuff up in the house. I think it's like the idea of her haunts people, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know if it does. But yeah, good book. Enjoyed it very much. And I've now started reading After Love. Not so good. Not enjoying this one as much. Tell me why they're in love on page 3. Why are they in love on page 3? It's just, I've got to the bit of the book where basically what happens is that it tells you this on the back. One of the main characters dies and then the book goes from there. But that doesn't happen until like nearly halfway through. So the whole beginning of the book is like building up the romance, because so much of what happens after the death relies still on the romance. I don't know if that, it's hard to explain. But basically the emotions of the romance and the love that the characters feel, that needs to be real for the rest of the story to be convincing, and the rest of the story to really have an impact. But if they're in love on page 3, there's no impact. I'm not convinced. But it's just, and I get it, like, they are teenagers. Like, you know, you fall quick as a teenager, I completely get it. But if the premise of your book relies on a romance, you're going to have to do a bit better than that. You're going to have to make me more convinced, because I'm not. And therefore, I'm now over halfway through the book, and I'm still not convinced about any part of it, because the romance isn't strong enough. So even after the death of one of the characters, the romance still keeps getting brought up. Like, so many of their actions are determined by the feelings that they have for this person, but I don't believe the feelings, therefore I don't believe the actions. I don't feel like that made any sense. right now it's giving like 2.5-star vibes. I'm not saying it's a bad book, I'm just saying I am quite picky nowadays with, not intentionally, but it's hard to convince me of a romance because I've read so many good romance books where the characters are so like made for each other that I can't believe a half-arsed romance. Like, it's really hard. So yeah, I'm not loving it. I'm also just like, I thought this book was gonna give more like the X-Hex vibes. I was hoping it wouldn't be quite that silly because the X-Hex is a very silly book. But that's what I kind of thought I was getting going into this, like fun. But it's not fun. Kind of the same as the Dead Romantics, that I thought it was going to be fun and it wasn't fun. Like, Rebecca's the only book in this video that I've gone into and like got what I actually expected. But yeah, Afterlove definitely isn't, like, obviously someone dies, so it's clearly not going to be like, whoa, do you get what I mean? But I thought it was going to be like silly. And it's not really silly. I don't know. I'm not loving it. I'm not saying it's a bad book. It's just, I'm not loving it. But I'm going to finish it anyway. It's not like a DNF or anything. It's good enough that I'll finish it. I'm not like dying to pick the book up. I've started reading another book for yet another video. Just to have something else to look forward to picking up. Like, I'm not looking forward to picking Afterlove up. But I do want to know what happens. Like, if this was a film, I would watch it. But it just takes so long. I'm a slow reader, so it takes so long for me to read a book. So if I'm not loving a book, I'm just like, this is so much of my life. Anyway, no one needs to hear about my existential crisis. I'm going to go and have a bath, and I will get back to you when I've finished Afterlove. I'm going to be quick because the washing machine's on and I bet the sound of it is really annoying. I finished Afterlove. I'm just editing the video and realised I never updated you and told you that I finished it. My thoughts remained pretty much the same. I didn't love this book at all. I really didn't. I gave it a 2.5. It's not an awful book, but it just wasn't what I thought it was and what it had been kind of made out to be, which is somewhat fun. I didn't find it fun. Yeah, I just didn't love it at all. I don't really know what else to say. Like, my thoughts are very much still the same. The romance was underdeveloped. It was like a cool concept, but it just didn't really pay off for me. I would have liked some, like, I don't know, just what they were doing. I wanted it to have a wider impact. Like, I don't know, I can't say much without spoiling the book, but I don't know, I just felt like it was so focused on so few characters. Like, I would have loved to see more of how this works out in the world, what happens when something goes wrong. Like, do you know what I mean? Just a bit more. It just felt quite like we were just plodding around. I don't know, I didn't love it. So, very quick wrap up of this video. We read The Dead Romantics, which I gave 3 stars. I enjoyed the process of reading that one. Like, I looked forward to reading it, but ultimately the romance was underdeveloped, and again, it kind of lacked that vibe I was looking for. It was a very unexpectedly sad book, and you don't know what the sad thing is going in. Like, it's not on the back of the book, so I didn't expect it to be a sad book. Not bad, just not really what I thought I was getting. Then we read Rebecca, which was pretty much exactly what I thought I was getting. A classic, gothic, not as ghosty as I thought, but a good book. Beautiful writing, stunning descriptions. I am a bit of a sucker for like oh, the washing machine is so lightly. I am a sucker for a good description, and I think good descriptions are often, like, they work well with gothic literature. So I really enjoyed Rebecca, and then Afterlove. So ultimately, oh my god, the washing machine. What was I saying? Oh yeah, this just wasn't like, I'm not saying the books were bad, they weren't bad, but did think this was going to be a bit more of a fun video. I was kind of going for the vibe of like, I keep mentioning the XX, but if you've read it, you kind of know what I mean. Just daft. Just ridiculous, but fun. Like, still, the XX for me was still like a 3-star read. It's not a favourite book, but I just wanted fun, and these books weren't fun. So if you know of any fun, spooky but not really spooky reads, do let me know. And I'll read those ones. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up down below if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!